Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for August 16th, 2013. I got 2-a-days with the Colts and Eagles. Take your pick for the weekend, a look at the new MLB instant replay rules. But first, let's get to our feature of the day, the state of NASCAR. Today we're going to do a little breakdown of NASCAR as we're just 4 weeks away from the chase for the Sprint Cup getting underway. And just a look at the standings, we got Jimmie Johnson just dominating right now. 15 top 10s and 9 top 5s. He's won 4 races, and he has a 75-point lead, which is the largest lead since they switched the point system about 2 years ago. And really, we see a lot of good drivers up there. Clint Boyer in second, Carl Edwards third, Harvick fourth, Kyle Busch, who just won at Watkins Glen last week, in fifth, Dale Jr. sixth, Matt Kenseth seventh, Brad Keselowski making a move up to eighth, Biffle ninth, and Martin Truex Jr. is in 10th. And really a main theme of this has been injuries. We've seen 2 of the biggest guys in the sports, both Denny Hamlin and Tony Stewart, drop out of races due to injury. Stewart's out right now with a broken leg he suffered in a sprint car. And then we saw Denny Hamlin suffer the injury earlier in the year when he was wrecked by Joey Logano at California. These injuries have been big. Tony Stewart probably knocked out of the chase now. And Denny Hamlin has no wins, but he's really, if he could pick up a win or two, he might be able to get back into the wild card race, but it is really going to be a long shot. He's going to have a lot of guys in front of him struggle for him to get to that spot. My driver that I see making the biggest move here in the last 4 weeks, a guy that really comes on hot towards the end of the regular season, I think Brad Keselowski, 8th place in points right now, coming to some tracks that he's run good at for sure. I think he can make a run and get himself up maybe into that top 4 or 3, maybe win a couple more, or he hasn't won any races, so maybe win a couple races just to get some bonus points going into the chase for the Sprint Cup, and he could be very dangerous. Of course, we have 2 wild cards that do get into the chase, and I think the 2 that are going to make it are going to be Kasey Kahne and Jeff Gordon. I think Gordon will find a way to get a win. Right now, the 2 wild cards are Kasey Kahne and Ryan Newman, but really Jeff, if he can just get a win, race solid. He's coming up to some tracks he's run very good at, Michigan, Richmond, and Bristol, and there's one more track in there. I know they go to Michigan this week, and then they go, let's see what they got left. Michigan, Bristol, Atlanta. Jeff's run good at Atlanta and at Richmond. So really a lot of big races that he's got to make some moves at for sure. He's run good at most of these tracks. I think Jeff can get a win and get into the chase. But ultimately, I think my champion is going to be Matt Kenseth, who will have the same amount of points as Jimmie Johnson going into the chase right now, as they both sit with 4 wins, and he could get one more too. So he's going to be my champion for NASCAR. So that's just a little look at NASCAR. Now we'll get to our first 2-a-day with the Indianapolis Colts. Last year, the Colts finished 11-5, lost to the Ravens in the wild card game. They had a great pass attack with Andrew Luck throwing the ball for over 4,000 yards, but really not great running or great defense. So we'll see if they can improve that this year, and they have made some good additions to improve that. I'm giving them a B- on their draft. They got the good defensive end, the European guy out of Florida State, Werner, and also I like some of their offensive line pickups as well to try and help their running back and give Andrew Luck some more protection as well. Key additions, they bring in a savvy veteran, Matt Hasselbeck, to play some backup behind Luck and tutor him. Darius Hayward-Bay, another wide receiver option for Luck. And the biggest, I think, addition was bringing in Ahmad Bradshaw from the Giants. I think he could become a good running back for this team and take them back to the level they've been at when they've had a Joseph Adai at running back or other big-time running backs that we've seen there. Only the main departure, they lose Bruce Arians as their offensive coordinator. He goes to Arizona, and they lose their big center, Jeff Saturday, as he retires. I think the big question for the team is, can Ahmad Bradshaw become a #1 running back again? We saw him kind of struggle last year, kind of deferred some to Andre Brown, but I think he'll get it done this year for the Colts and really help bolster this team running and take a little bit of pressure off Andrew Luck to throw the ball so much. Alright, so I'll be back with my second 2-a-day. I got the Colts finishing at 10-6, a game back from last year, just a little bit tougher of a division, I think. All right, so I'll be back in just a minute with the Philadelphia Eagles two-a-day. But right now, time to talk about Major League Baseball Instant Replay. They've come up with new rules to give managers one challenge in the first 6 innings, 2 in the last 7 innings. I think this is a good system, going in the right direction. I like what they're trying to do. They're trying to use the technology and embracing it, but there still is some problems. I don't like it because it's still leaving out some calls. It's putting more gamesmanship into it, and it's putting more pressure on managers to know when to make those challenges and kind of taking some of the pressure off the umpires to make the right call. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see. I've heard a lot of people today. I listened to Mike and Mike today, and a lot of people were talking about a comparison to football. I think the comparison to football is completely invalid. Yes, they do challenges, but still, the one change that needs to be made to make it more like football is that every scoring play needs to be reviewed in Major League Baseball headquarters for sure. And I think this is going to work out well, so that's what they need. They need to be reviewing every scoring play, every play at home plate, every double play where a run scores needs to be reviewed. Any play where a run scores, I think, needs to be reviewed and talked about as well. The crew chief, I think, needs to just have a headpiece here, an earpiece, so that he can hear headquarters, so he doesn't have to go to the bullpen and talk on a phone. Overall, though, I've heard it's going to be a lot quicker as well. Managers will not be able to argue plays that they want to challenge. I think it's going to be good. Allegedly, they have this system down, so the call will be made in under a minute and a half. And right now, your average argument is about 3 minutes. So Major League Baseball trying to do the right thing. All right, now let's get to our second two-a-day with the Philadelphia Eagles. Last year, the Eagles were terrible. They finished 4-12. Michael Vick turned the ball over way too much, was injured too much, and they lost a lot of close games. Overall, though, I think their draft was solid. I'm giving them a B on their draft. Nice combination of good players to bolster many positions. Key additions, they bring in the coach Chip Kelly from Oregon, cornerback Chris Hawkins to try and fill in a spot where they lost Nnamdi Asomugha. They bring in Aurelius Ben, running back Felix Jones, who can make a big impact on this team, and big-time safety out of New England, Patrick Chung. Key departures, of course, they lose Coach Andy Reid. Big defensive tackle Cullen Jenkins is released, and they release cornerback Nnamdi Asomugha. I think the big question is who will be the starting quarterback, and I honestly do not think it will be Michael Vick. I think Nick Foles has a better understanding of how to throw the short ball accurately, and that's what's going to work in this Chip Kelly offense. So I think Foles will be the starter for this team. I think they'll finish at 9-7 in a very tough division, and that could win them a division in the NFC East. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. So that's my two-a-day for the Eagles and the Colts. All right, so now it's time for Take Your Pick and a couple news and notes. Just 2 Take Your Picks. NASCAR Michigan this weekend. I said Matt Kenseth would get one more win, and this is going to be the week he picks it up. He's run good at Michigan. Matt Kenseth will win again. And 2 of the hottest players in baseball right now, Alfonso Soriano and Miguel Cabrera, who will have the bigger weekend. Soriano coming off a 5-home run, 16 RBI week. Cabrera off a 5-home run, 10 RBI week. And I think Alfonso Soriano is going to keep it rolling in Fenway, and he's going to carry this team right through the weekend. They'll take 2 of 3 in Boston and be in good shape. All right, 2 other Major League Baseball news and notes. Ryan Sandberg in as the new Phillies interim manager. Charlie Manuel out as Phillies manager. And the Yankees signed Mark Reynolds off waivers, first baseman. He'll be batting 8th for the Yankees tonight, and this is a good pickup for them. A good right-handed bat, platoon with Overbay for sure. Overbay's really struggled against lefties. He's getting in the lineup tonight. That should be exciting to watch him at Fenway. A lot of power, strikes out a lot, but a guy that can carry a team for 5 to 7 days. So we'll see what happens for sure. All right, come on back Monday. Thumbs up, thumbs down from the weekend. 2-a-days, Giants and Jags. And also we're going to start our first of a 5-part college football preview. I'm going to be breaking down Sports Illustrated's top 25 they have out. Always remember to follow me on Twitter, YankeeBaller415. Check me out on jbsmooth84.com. Coming up on the podcast this Tuesday should be fun. Also, I have a J.J. Watt story out, and James Bridges will be on the blog next Friday, so tune in for that. Also, get at me to play fantasy football. I got 5 people so far. Want to get that up to around 8. Just let me know, and I will let you know about the information. Always remember, comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to Blog and Grill. I'll be back on Friday. Have a nice weekend.